Guten Morgen. So right in the beginning on the inside cover you find a useful map of Germany and its surrounding countries. So in the west you have, for example, Niederlande, Bay if you're Belgian or Belgium, Luxembourg or Luxembourg, Frankreich, then you have Italian, Slovenian, Österreich, Croatian, Ungarn, Slowische Republik, Czechische Republik, and the huge country of Poland in the east. In the north you have Sweden and Denmark. Okay, so and in the northwest you have the Nordsee, and in the northeast you have the Ostsee. Can you see that? The two oceans, Nordsee and Ostsee. Okay. I have told you about the code given on the copyright page. Yeah? Have you seen that code? And it says that you can download audio data, audio files, but also you can have access to other material using that code. I'll just give you an orientation in the even the contents page. With the contents page, if you come, then you have lesson-wise contents given under 5 bullet points. The first is Sprachhandlungen. Sprachhandlungen, Sprache. Yeah, Sprachhandlungen. Handlung is any action that you can do. Okay, Handlung. So, what are the language things or language acts that you can perform after having done this lesson? So it says Grüßen und Verabschieden. Grüßen, to greet, Guten Morgen, Guten Tag, Hallo, wie geht's? Verabschieden, Auf Wiedersehen, Tschüss, to say goodbye. Verabschieden is to say goodbye. So Grüßen und Verabschieden. Sich und andere vorstellen. Vorstellen is to introduce. Sich is self and andere is others. To be able to introduce self and others. Sich und andere vorstellen. Über sich und andere sprechen. To speak about oneself and others. Das ist mein Freund. Mein Freund heißt Suresh. Kommt aus Bhopal, and etc. So, to speak about someone and to speak about oneself. Über sich und andere sprechen. Zahlen bis 20. Number till 20. Telefonnummer und E-Mail-Adresse nennen. Nennen is to name. To nennen means to name in the sense to say aloud. In this case. But nennen can also be the way we use the verb to call in English. You know, we call it whatever, we call it dosa, you might call it something else. Okay, so that calling something is also nennen. Buchstabieren, spelling, that means obviously the alphabet is there. Über Länder und Sprachen sprechen. Yeah, that is, if you come to that, in lesson 1, on page 15, Seite 15, 14 und 15. Yeah, we have done it very briefly in the beginning, different countries. Languages we have not done, but I'm sure you can manage because the options are given in a box on top on page 15, and if you can't manage it, you can come back and we can do it in class, but I think you should be able to manage. So that's the portion covered in lesson 1. Okay. Wortschatz. The second bullet point is Wortschatz. Wortschatz is vocabulary. I mean, these points are also important for you to understand what they are. Sprachhandlungen or Sprachhandlung means the speech acts or the language acts that you can perform. Then Wortschatz means vocabulary. So the minimum that you should know in terms of vocabulary after lesson 1, that's the minimum for an E grade. Zahlen von 1 bis 20 und Länder und Sprachen. Then the grammar, W-Fragen, W-Frage. I think we've done that, W questions. W-Frage, Aussagesatz. Satz is a sentence. Der Satz, die Sätze is a sentence. Aussagesatz, sagen is to say, Aussagen is to state. So a statement is an Aussagesatz, okay, a statement. A question and a statement. Frage, das ist eine Frage, ist ein Question und Aussagesatz is a statement. Verben und Personalpronomen. Ja? Verben und Personalpronomen. I think just yesterday we did one last revision of the basic verb conjugation, verb conjugation with all the pronouns. First person, second person, third person, singular and plural. Okay, this is then Aussprache. Aussprache, see the word Sprache is coming so many times. Aussprache is pronunciation. Aussprache. In terms of pronunciation, you should know the basic sounds of the alphabet. Okay. Then a very important term, Landeskunde. Kunde means something that you find out, knowledge. Okay, so Landeskunde is information about the country. Knowledge about the country, Landeskunde. Again, different countries and languages, Länder und Sprachen. There is also a film that goes with the textbook. We have the videos, the DVDs, which we will screen the film. At some point in time, we'll start screening the film. So every lesson has a small video, and it's like a story that develops over the 12 lessons. Okay. Yeah. So if you notice, all the contents page, the contents of a lesson will be given in this form under these bullet points, so to say. So can you see that we have covered lesson 1 in terms of what is given in the contents? We have covered them. There might be odd exercises that you might not understand, or there might be 1 or 2 new expressions that might come in, which of course you should be able to use this and resolve. Okay. So come to page number 4, Kapitel 1, Guten Tag. Der Anzug, die Anzüge. The first word that is given is der Anzug, die Anzüge. So you can see there is the gender given and the plural. Then the next one is der Apfelstrudel. Der Apfelstrudel. What is an Apfelstrudel? Apple pie, apple strudel or apple pie. A comma and a dash. What does that mean? That the plural also is the same word. There is no change. Only the der will change to die. Okay, die Apfelstrudel. Die Autobahn, comma dash en means die Autobahnen is the plural. What is an Autobahn? Highway. A highway. Bulgarisch, Bulgarian. Das Butterbrot. Das Butterbrot. Yeah, bread and butter, basic sandwich, das Butterbrot, comma dash e, die Butterbrote, sandwiches. Okay. If you come down to das Würstchen, there is a dot under U, umlaut, which means that's where the accent of the word is, das Würstchen. Further down, zuordnen, zuordnen, andere, kennen, sammeln. If you come to lesson 2 in the textbook, back to the textbook lesson 2, or maybe we can just have a look at the workbook as well before we go to lesson 2. For example, let's take the very first exercise on page 6. The word for page is die Seite, die Seiten. Seite also is connected with side, okay, the side of a paper. Die Seite, die Seiten. So, if I want to say open the book to page 6, I would simply say Seite 6 bitte, yeah, Seite 6. So, Arbeitsbuch, Arbeitsbuch, Workbook, Arbeitsbuch, Seite 6 bitte, Arbeitsbuch, Seite 6, Übung 1, Übung 1, guten Tag. Deutsch international, Deutsch international. Welche deutschen Wörter gibt es in Ihrer Muttersprache? Muttersprache? Ja. Welche deutschen Wörter gibt es? Don't translate. If we can understand, if there is something, some word is not clear, you can ask. Okay. If you are following the text, standard procedure now, standard operating procedure, if you are following the text as we are reading it or as we are talking, we will of course slow it down as much as possible. But if you are following the text, unless you stumble across a word which completely destroys your understanding or blocks your understanding, just let it go. Okay, don't translate or don't actively translate. At some point, I know that translation happens in our mind, but don't actively translate. Okay, if something is really problematic, if you get blocked at some point, then of course put up your hand, take the mic and ask the question. Okay, so Deutsch international. Welche deutschen Wörter gibt es in Ihrer Muttersprache? Gibt es means is a standard phrase. Are there? Okay. In Ihrer Muttersprache. Schreiben Sie. First instruction to you. Schreiben Sie. Schreiben? Right. Scribe. Schreiben Sie. Zum Beispiel, another very important expression in class like Seite is also zum Beispiel. Zum Beispiel, standard expression for example. Zum Beispiel. Beispiel is an example. Zum Beispiel, auf Englisch haben wir das Wort Kindergarten. Kindergarten. Kindergarten, what is kindergarten? KG. KG is Kindergarten. Okay. Kindergarten ist ein deutsches Wort. Kindergarten, das Wort Kindergarten ist Deutsch. Ja? Also, Deutsch ist eine internationale Sprache. Ja? Es gibt viele deutsche Wörter. There are many German words, viele deutsche Wörter in anderen Sprachen. In anderen Sprachen. Yeah? In other languages. Okay. So, do you know any other German words in English? I mean, we have to take, unfortunately, our common mother tongue as English. What a tragedy. But anyway. Yeah. Autobahn, okay. German words in English. In which sense? The color? The color brown? No, the color brown spelling is different. Zeitgeist, yeah? Good. Zeitgeist. Also wir haben Autobahn, Kindergarten, Autobahn, Zeitgeist. Yeah?
Zugzwang. Zugzwang. Zugzwang.
Zugzwang. Uh,
Is it in
it's a German word, yeah. Zugzwang, meaning?
you're forced to make a bad move. You're forced to make a bad move.
Okay, Zugzwang. I didn't know Zugzwang existed in English. Okay, Zugzwang. Other German words you know? Schadenfreude, yeah. Schadenfreude, Zeitgeist, Autobahn, Schadenfreude, Kindergarten. Yeah, I think we have, like brown, then you could add beer also. But there is different spellings. German is different spelling, English is different spelling, although the words sound the same. Yeah, okay. Just so that we don't forget, der Kindergarten, die Autobahn, der Zeitgeist, der Zugzwang, die Schadenfreude. Was bedeuten diese Wörter? Was bedeuten? Was bedeutet das? Was bedeuten diese Wörter? Was bedeutet das? Was bedeuten diese Wörter? Bedeutet, bedeuten, to mean. What is the meaning of? What does this mean? What means that? What we're asking is what means this or what means that? Was bedeutet das? Or was bedeuten diese Wörter? These words. Kindergarten, yeah, we know what kindergarten is. Autobahn, yeah, is Auto, is a car, Auto. Und Bahn. Bahn is any kind of a track. That's a Bahn. Okay. For example, the railway is also a track, no? The railway is also a track. That track is made of? The track is made of? Iron, steel. Okay. So the German word for the railway actually is die Eisenbahn. Eisenbahn. Eisen is iron in German. Okay. Eisenbahn. The Autobahn. What do you have? What do you have on a road? You have? No, vehicles you have, yes, but vehicles are in India, they are never driving in specific lanes. So to drive is fahren. So Fahrbahn. Fahrbahn is a lane, is a track in which you are supposed to drive. In India, Fahrbahn is a lane in which you are not supposed, is a lane in which you are not supposed to drive. Okay. So Eisenbahn, Autobahn, Fahrbahn, die Autobahn. Der Zeitgeist. Der Zeitgeist. What is the Jahreszeit?
Time of the year. Season.
Yeah, so Zeit time. Die Zeit is time. Geist, spirit. Zeitgeist, spirit of the time. Okay. Zeitgeist. Zugzwang. Yeah. Zwang. Is it a word from chess? To pin.
Not to pin, but you are forced to make a move which is bad for you. It's like you're
Yeah, I
forced
understand.
into a corner and you have to make that move, but it loses for you. That is
So you have only one move left,
only one move
which
left and
leads to a mate.
yeah.
Yeah. Zugzwang. Okay. Zwang in German, Zwang is coercion. Forcing someone to do something is Zwang. Okay. And Zug is basically, it comes from also ziehen, which means to, can also mean to move. So Zugzwang could be you're coerced, you're forced to make a move. Okay. Zugzwang. And of course, die Schadenfreude. So you can also have a wonderful Zugzwang, Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude? From others? Yeah, deriving happiness from others' misery or failure. Schaden, der Schaden in German means harm or damage. Der Schaden. Freude is joy, happiness. So in a sense, what is the other term for that too? Sadism, yeah, but it's not exactly sadism, but it is, yeah, something similar that you, maybe it's a little milder than sadism. You're just happy that somebody has got a D for once. Schadenfreude, yeah. Okay, so we can go back to, dann Übung 2. Übung 2. Was sagen die Leute? What are the people saying? Die Leute. Ergänzen Sie. First one instruction to you was schreiben Sie. Right. Next one is ergänzen Sie. I mentioned ergänzen yesterday. To fill in, to fill in the blanks, to complete the sentences. Ergänzen Sie. Dann 2b. 2b. Ordnen Sie die Dialoge und hören Sie zur Kontrolle. Lesen Sie dann. Ordnen Sie. Ordnen Sie? Match the following. I mean, basically, yeah. Put it in order. And then hören Sie. Hören Sie zur Kontrolle. Kontrolle in German, basically more than control, it means to check. To check. So you can, there are of course audio CDs in the workbook as well. So you can create the dialogue by numbering the sentences, and to check whether you are correct or not, you can listen to the audio which is there in the CD. 2c. Schreiben Sie eigene Dialoge wie in Aufgabe 2b. Aufgabe. Aufgabe, standard expression or standard word for task. So task to be, as in task to be. Please write, schreiben Sie eigene Dialoge, own dialogues, eigene, own dialogues, wie in Aufgabe 2b, as in task to be. Zerschneiden Sie die Dialoge, zerschneiden. Once you write the dialogue on a piece of paper, then cut it up. Zerschneiden, and give those strips to your partner, and the partner has to put together dialogue again. Okay, so it's an activity you can do with somebody. I mean, we don't have, unfortunately, the classroom design itself is not conducive to people working together. It's a very serious matter. It's a very serious matter in terms of what kind of pedagogical vision we have. The pedagogical vision we have is everyone for himself or herself, not coming together. That's why all of you, in a completely silly kind of a thing, are facing me in unidirectional classrooms are very, very problematic and actually not conducive to learning. But that is the way we are. That's the way we have. That's the way we have been trained to acquire our knowledge. Okay. So a much more. I mean, if you see a typical classroom where people come together to learn, you would probably have 4 or 5 smaller tables around which you would have again 4 or 5 chairs, and it would be randomly distributed in either a rectangular room or a need not be a rectangular room either. You can have several combinations, but probably a square or a rectangular room. But where then you would have 5 groups of 6 people each sitting randomly and looking at a text or listening to something or whatever, and then the teacher actually becomes a facilitator who can randomly go between these groups and just see that learning is happening. That's all. But sorry, this detour is perhaps unnecessary, but then the problem becomes an exercise like this where you can actually work together with a partner. You need to sit across the table with someone and talk to them, and but it's not there in our system, unfortunately. So you can you will find that this kind of a thing has been attempted, in the government schools in Tamil Nadu some 12 years, 13 years ago. They decided to have something called activity-based learning as a model of pedagogy. So over the next 5-6 years, the entire orientation of a primary school classroom in Tamil Nadu government schools changed. It was no longer, this is a completely dumb structure. What we have over here is a totally dumb structure that everybody is gazing in one direction at one person who is supposed to be the fountainhead of all knowledge and all sorts of rubbish. But anyway, that's the way it is. But that changed in Tamil Nadu in the government schools, where instead of making children sit like this, they made small chowkis. You know what chowkis are? Low tables, chowki. Small chowkis. Sometimes some made it round, some made it rectangular, but usually they were supposed to be round or rectangular chowkis. And so the desks went out, okay, benches went out, low tables, low chowkis, mats or daris on which children sat on the floor, and each table had 4 or 5 children sitting around it, or maybe 6 children sitting around it. Okay, and the teacher sat in one corner, had a chair and sat in one corner, and what the children had to do was given on a chart that you have to follow this process and reach these milestones. This week, this is your milestone. And the children did all the work by themselves, and the teacher became a facilitator. This actually happened. It's not a fairy tale. It actually happened in government schools in Tamil Nadu. And this thing, for example, in the normal kind of a dumb setup, the board is monopolized by the teacher. I mean, I can deign to say, okay, you come and write something on the board. You come and write something on the board. So the blackboard or the green board is monopolized by the teacher. In those schools, I mean, if you go to any government school in Tamil Nadu, go to a primary classroom, and you will find that the entire wall from the level of the floor up to 3 feet or 4 feet is painted black, good black paint, and each child has demarcated blackboard space. The teacher doesn't have any monopoly over the blackboard. The child also has her own blackboard on which she can write whatever she wants rub it off, she makes a mistake, and so on and so forth. And if you go, every demarcated space like this is full of children trying out numbers, this, that. It's completely full. It's so beautiful to see that they are doing it by themselves. Okay. So, yeah, this what prompted this was that exercise which said that, sit with your partner and do this exercise, which is, yeah, it is, I hope we change but given the size of our classes, probably we'll need a United Nations roundtable to have one class together. Anyway, but we're going to go through the workbook so that you can understand the instructions that are there. Okay. So, zerschneiden is to cut, and then your partner in ordnet. So the partner can put in order. Again, you have ergänzen Sie. Then you have ordnen Sie zu. Zu ordnen is match the following. Ordnen to put in order. Ordnen zu means order it to something. Match the following. Dann Aufgabe 3. Was passt wo? Ordnen Sie zu. Was passt? Passen. Passen is to fit or to be appropriate. What fits where? Okay, was passt wo? Match them. So, for example, Guten Abend. Guten Abend would be correct where? Gute Nacht. Auf Wiedersehen. 6, Nummer 6. Tschüss. Ja, 5th or 6th. Tschüss. Guten Tag. Guten Tag. 1. Guten Abend. Guten Abend, probably 4. What is Abend? And Kino? Yeah, so evening cinema, probably. Anyway, Sie oder du, ergänzen Sie. Sie oder du, formal or informal? No, that's okay. I mean, I'm just saying we are just trying to understand the questions right now. Okay. Then Nummer 3, Aufgabe 3, D. Hören Sie und ordnen Sie die Dialoge den Bildern zu. Hören Sie und ordnen Sie zu, that zu is there at the end of the sentence. What do you match? Die Dialoge den Bildern. Bilder is picture. So dialogues and pictures to match. But what you have to match is on the CD. You have to listen to it and match it. Okay. And then hören Sie noch einmal. Noch einmal. Very important expression even in a classroom. Noch einmal bitte. Noch einmal bitte. Bitte is please. Once again please. If I want you to repeat something, I would say noch einmal bitte. So, once again, noch einmal. Hören Sie noch einmal, and then you have to decide formell Sie oder informell du. Kreuzen Sie an. Kreuzen Sie an, kreuzen basically means to cross the correct box. Okay. We tick a box, the Germans cross a box. Okay. Dann Aufgabe 4, Fragen und Antworten. Ordnen Sie zu. Questions and answers. Wie, wer, wo, woher. Ergänzen Sie. Then Nummer C, 4c. Hören Sie die Fragen und schreiben Sie die Antworten. Hören Sie die Fragen. Das ist auf CD, that's on a CD. Und schreiben Sie die Antworten. Ergänzen Sie die Tabelle. Ist clear? Nächste Seite, next page. Seite 10. Ordnen Sie zu, notieren Sie. Notieren Sie. Note down. Make notes. Dann Ihre Daten. Your information, your personal information, Ihre Daten. Ergänzen Sie das Formular. complete the form. Aufgabe 5. Ergänzen Sie die Verben in der richtigen Form. Fill in the verbs in the right form, in the correct form. Schreiben Sie die Sätze und die Fragen richtig in die Tabelle. Dann Aufgabe 5c, Seite 11. Im Chat lesen Sie, wer ist das? Ergänzen Sie die Namen. Wer, the question where is who. W-E-R, where is who. Who is that? Who is this? Wer ist das? Fill in the names. Und schreiben Sie die Fragen zu den Antworten. Write the questions to these answers. Lesen Sie und ergänzen Sie die Zahlen. Das ist auf Seite 12. Jetzt Seite 12. Kreuzen Sie an. Why don't you go through the remaining exercises and see if you can understand the task, what is to be done. Otherwise, ask. But before that, I have to introduce one small thing. This is preparation for the next lesson, for lesson 3. Okay, so the vocabulary that will come in lesson 3 will be around the city. Okay, will be around the city and transport, for example. Okay, so die Stadt und die Verkehrsmittel. Verkehr is traffic or transport. Mittel is a medium, a means of transport. Okay, means of Verkehrsmittel. Die Stadt. Was sehen wir in einer Stadt? What can we see in a city? Die Ampel, ja, die Straße, der Platz. Der Platz is a square, der Platz. Der Zebrastreifen, ist klar? Der Zebrastreifen. Der Bürgersteig, Footpath, ja. Der Park, der Bahnhof, ja, der train station, der Bahnhof, das Café, das Geschäft or der Laden, das Geschäft or der Laden, both. What is that? A shop. Das Geschäft or der Laden is a shop. Der Supermarkt, das Kino, die Bank, die Post, die Schule, das Hotel, das Krankenhaus. Das Krankenhaus, hospital. Krank in German is sick, K-R-A-N-K, krank. Krankenhaus is a hospital. Der Flughafen, ja, der Flughafen, das Stadion, das Restaurant, der Parkplatz. Okay? Basically, there are a lot of words that you can easily recognize because the sounds are similar, the origins are common, etc. So, die Ampel, die Straße, der Platz, der Zebrastreifen, der Bürgersteig, der Park, der Bahnhof, das Café, das Geschäft oder der Laden, der Supermarkt, das Kino, die Bank, die Post, die Schule, das Hotel, das Krankenhaus, der Flughafen, das Stadion, das Restaurant, der Parkplatz. Und wir haben hier die Verkehrsmittel. Das Flugzeug, das Auto, der Zug, the train, der Bus, die U-Bahn, the metro, die andere U-Bahn. The Germans had what during the Second World War? U-boats, those are the submarines. Yeah? U-Bahn is underground train, that is the metro. Die Straßenbahn, tram, streetcar, Straßenbahn. das Fahrrad, das Moped, das Motorrad, der Reisebus, tourist bus, Reisebus, Reisen, remember our hobby, Reisen, Reisebus, der Lastwagen, Lastwagen, a truck, Lastwagen, der Hubschrauber, das Wohnmobil, Wohnmobil,
Like a caravan kind of a thing.
it's a caravan kind of thing. It's not an ambulance. Wohnen, what is Wohnen?
To live.
It's what is it called? Wohnmobil It's a vehicle in which you can live. Okay. Wohnmobil. Das Taxi, das Boot, die Fähre. Die Fähre? Die Fähre? The ferry. The ferry. Die Fähre. Das Schiff. So, and then we have some basic slides which are again from the textbook lesson 3. Please go through that because our next class is only on, probably next week we might have the last Tuesday class. We are now coming to this thing on, it is the third week next week and we are also in lesson 3. Okay, so then once we streamline that, once you start working with the workbook, it's fine. Okay.